All right, strap in, everybody. Today, we are going deep into some seriously creepy real-life stories.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It is. About emails and messages. Ones that went very, very wrong.
Oh, I hate those.
Right. I have 5 stories, and they're all based on true accounts. We'll go from, online dating nightmares
Oh, yeah.
to the dark corners of Reddit, and even to a small-town church.
No way.
Yes. I got a very unwelcome digital visitor. Ever get a message that made your skin crawl?
All the time.
Okay, well, today we're taking that feeling to a whole new level.
I am so ready.
Okay, so the first story is about Sandy,
Okay.
who is recently divorced.
Yeah.
And she decides to try, online dating, hoping for a fresh start.
Sure.
She starts getting emails from someone, she met on one of the sites.
Okay.
And at first they seem pretty normal, but then,
Oh, here we go.
yeah, things take a dark turn.
Oh.
Instead of the usual, getting to know you stuff.
Right.
These emails start revealing these personal details
Oh, no.
about Sandy's divorce. Things that really only, someone close to her would know.
Someone in her, inner circle.
Yes.
Yes.
And so that's where it moves beyond just creepy,
Yeah.
and into something much more sinister, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's that violation, that invasion of privacy.
Right.
That really sets off alarm bells.
You don't know who it is,
Mhm.
but they know things about you.
Yeah. It's unnerving,
Exactly.
to say the least.
And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, the sender attaches an explicit photo.
Oh, come on.
I know. Talk about crossing a line.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a classic tactic that abusers use to, humiliate
Oh, yeah.
and degrade the victim. It's a way to strip away their dignity and
Oh, yeah.
assert control. It's all about power.
Wow. That's intense. So Sandy, understandably freaked out,
Yeah.
immediately suspects her ex-husband.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the logical conclusion.
Makes sense, right? But when she confronts him,
Yeah.
he denies it.
Okay.
And he seems genuinely, shocked and disgusted.
Mhm.
So if it wasn't the ex, who else could it be?
Right.
It's like this mystery unfolding, but in her inbox.
Exactly. And that's what I think makes these stories so compelling.
Right.
It's the mystery, the unknown.
Yeah.
And the mystery deepens because the emails keep coming.
Oh, no.
Yeah, each one gets angrier,
Uh-oh.
more unhinged.
Oh, God.
It's a clear escalation.
Yeah.
And it really culminates in this chilling moment.
This is where it gets really scary.
Okay, tell me.
So hold on to your hats, folks. The sender sends a photograph of Sandy's house taken at night.
Oh my gosh, that is
I know.
so
It's
creepy.
like straight out of a horror movie.
I was going to say that's like
Hey,
the
no,
horror
yeah,
movie
yeah.
trope.
Yeah. And I just keep thinking that now it's not digital.
Right, exactly. It's like
Maybe-
it's transcended the digital
Yes.
and spilled over into the real world.
Yeah, that picture is a clear message. I know where you live. I'm watching you.
I was going to say it's a threat.
Yes.
It's meant to instill terror.
Yeah.
To make her feel completely vulnerable.
Absolutely. So terrified, Sandy blocks the sender. And just like that, the emails stop.
Okay.
But is that it?
Right. Is that really the end?
Is this case closed?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because blocking might provide some temporary relief,
Okay.
but it's not a guarantee of safety.
Right.
It might even drive them further underground.
Oh, gosh.
Make them more difficult to track. So did Sandy actually solve the problem or just kind of push it out of sight?
Right.
It's an unsettling question, and it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
What happened next?
All right. So story number 2 takes us to the depths of Reddit, where a user shared this truly bizarre and unsettling experience. So imagine this. You get a text from an unknown number
Okay.
urging you to check your email immediately.
Oh, I hate that.
All right.
That sense of urgency, that unknown sender,
Yeah.
that just creates a knot of anxiety in your stomach.
Yes. So, of course, you have to see what's in the email. Aren't you?
Absolutely.
So the subject line, in all caps, screams, "Download this now."
Oh, wow.
Not subtle.
Not at all. That's so aggressive.
Yeah.
It's bypassing all rational thought and going straight for the emotional response.
Exactly. So the user opens the email.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets creepy. It includes their full name, their address, and their phone number.
No.
Talk about a privacy invasion.
Yeah, that's a classic case of doxing,
Yeah.
where they gather and expose someone's personal info
Right.
to intimidate them. It's the power play. It's basically saying, we know who you are, we know where you live, and we can use this against you.
Right. It's a threat.
It is.
Yeah. And to make matters worse,
Okay.
the email have 5 attachments.
Oh my gosh.
4 of them are photos.
Oh, no.
One is a picture of the user's house,
Okay.
his mother, as a young woman, a baby picture of him.
This is insane. It's like they're just showing off. Like, look what we know.
I know.
We're watching you. We see you.
And then a really creepy picture of this middle-aged man
Oh, no.
with this, like, menacing stare.
Oh, that's chilling.
It's really creepy.
It's like that visual just adds another layer
Yes.
to that manipulation.
It's almost like they are saying,
Yeah.
we're not just watching you.
Yeah.
We're watching everyone you care about.
Yeah. That's a power move for sure.
Yeah. And then the fifth attachment,
Okay.
an executable file called, you guessed it, downloadthisnow.exe.
Oh, come on. That's so obvious.
I know.
But it's the bait.
Right.
Right? They want you to click it, hoping that curiosity gets the best of you, and then, bam, they got you.
And this is where the Reddit user makes a very smart move.
Okay, good.
They don't open the file.
Good.
They know better than to tempt fate with that kind of thing.
They dodged a bullet.
They did.
Yeah, because who knows what that could have been.
Right.
I mean, it could have been spyware,
It could have been anything.
keyloggers,
Oh, gosh.
all sorts of nasty stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't open that. But here's the really strange part.
Yeah.
Shortly after they share their story on Reddit,
Yeah.
the post vanishes.
Oh, wow.
Poof.
Yeah.
Gone. Like it never happened.
What? Really? That is so strange. That brings up a lot more questions.
It does.
Was it the user? Did they delete it out of fear?
Right.
Or did Reddit take it down?
Maybe.
Or did the attackers somehow get to it?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. And that just adds to the mystery, which I think just makes it even creepier.
Absolutely. Okay, so you ready for story number 3?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
This one takes us to a small town and a local pastor,
Okay.
Father David.
Oh, wow.
And he uses email, of course, to communicate with his congregation.
Yeah.
Well, one day he gets this strange email with no subject line.
Oh, that's always suspicious.
It is. He opens it and bam, his computer crashes.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's just like, I keep thinking about this, like this man of peace and spirituality.
And man of God dealing with this like technological nightmare.
I know. It's just crazy. So he restarts his computer.
Yeah.
And that's when things get really strange. All of his files are gone, replaced with a very unsettling image of Satan
What?
as his desktop background.
Oh, come on.
I know. And to make matters worse,
Yeah.
distorted laughter starts echoing from his speakers like every few minutes.
Oh, that's so creepy.
That's creep.
That is so disturbing. It's like they wanted to defile his space.
Yes.
Digitally.
It's a violation.
Absolutely. And they just want him to feel unsafe, even in his own home.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And of course, Father David can't access any of his programs,
Oh, no.
like his sermons, his parish records.
That's important stuff for a church.
So this isn't just a prank, right?
Right, this
is disrupting his life.
This is impacting his work, his ability to connect with his community.
Yeah, exactly. And the question remains, was this a cruel joke or something more? Was Father David specifically targeted or just really unlucky? We don't know because the perpetrator was never found.
Wow, that's scary.
It's scary. It leaves you with this unsettling feeling, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's no closure.
Yeah. Okay, story number 4 broadens the scope a bit. This one takes us back to 2009
Okay.
when a wave of malicious emails hit the internet.
Okay.
And these weren't your typical spam messages.
Oh, okay.
They were cleverly disguised as, like, tempting offers, like Target coupons.
I see. That's smart because they're playing on people's desires.
Yes.
Like, who doesn't love a good deal?
Right. And so those who clicked,
Oh, no.
thinking they're about to get some sweet savings,
Yeah.
unleashed a hidden danger.
Oh, no. What was it?
Viruses.
Oh, viruses. Not just any viruses, right?
Right. These were designed for, like, stealth and surveillance.
Like really sneaky.
Yeah.
So they can like record your keystrokes, meaning they could capture passwords, credit card numbers.
Oh, gosh.
Everything you typed.
Yeah, it's scary. And they could even, like, hijack your webcam,
Oh, no.
potentially giving someone remote access to see and hear everything happening in your home.
Oh, that's a nightmare. That's a total invasion of privacy.
Right. It's a chilling thought that someone might be watching you
It's
through your own devices without you knowing.
Oh, that's awful. And how many people fell victim to this?
A lot. It was this massive attack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that really highlights how vulnerable we are to these kinds of
I was
tactics.
going to say it preys on our
Yeah.
weaknesses, like our desire for a good deal.
Yeah, exactly. So this wasn't just a one-off incident.
Huh.
It was a full-blown epidemic
Right.
of digital intrusion.
I think it's a story that's really relevant today.
Oh, yeah.
Even more so now,
Yeah.
because we rely so much on technology. We share so much personal information.
Good reminder, right?
Yeah, we need to be more vigilant about what we click on, what we download, what information we share.
Totally agree. All right, so we're 4 stories in,
Yeah.
and things have gotten pretty intense. But we have one more story to go.
Oh, okay.
And it might be the most disturbing one of all.
Oh, gosh. All right.
So this one is about a high school freshman.
Okay.
I'm Jen, who gets an email that appears to be from her dean.
Okay.
You'd think an email from the dean wouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
Right.
Mm.
But there's something about this email that feels off.
Oh.
It's a message about improving her grades,
Okay.
which seems harmless enough.
Yeah.
But then there's this strange line at the end.
Okay.
Do not reply to this email.
Oh, that's weird.
It is weird, right?
It's odd.
Especially coming from a school official.
Exactly. Like, why wouldn't I reply to this?
Right. So it's like,
Shouldn't you want to be able to reach out for clarification?
I know. Okay. So a week later, she gets another email.
Okay.
Again, seeming to be from the dean.
Okay.
This time it's a request to meet
Oh, no.
behind the school early in the morning before classes.
Behind the school, early in the morning. That's so sketchy.
I know. Red flag, red flag, red flag.
That's like textbook grooming behavior, right? You
Right.
know? Moving from what seems like, just contact to a more personal in-person meeting.
It's like they're trying to isolate her.
Exactly.
Lure her to a vulnerable situation.
That's like classic predator behavior.
Yeah. And tragically, Jen, being a naive freshman, shows up
Oh, no.
at the designated meeting spot. But the figure behind the dumpster is not the dean.
Oh, my gosh. That's terrifying.
It's terrifying, right? It's like the mask slips, the deception's revealed.
Yeah, it is. It's a terrifying moment, realizing you've been tricked.
Yeah. Thankfully, she's able to escape,
Oh, thank goodness.
and she reports the incident.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The emails were sent through this anonymous website,
Oh, wow.
traced back to a public library computer. The sender remains unknown.
So they just disappear into the digital ether.
I know it's chilling to think this person's still out there, right?
It is. It really highlights the challenges
Yeah.
of tracking these people down.
Yeah.
Especially when they're using like anonymity tools and public computers.
It's almost like you're chasing ghosts in the machine.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
from online dating nightmares to the dark corners of Reddit, even a small-town church.
It's been a wild ride.
It has been a wild ride.
Yeah.
And these stories show us how technology can be used to exploit our vulnerabilities, right?
Absolutely. To invade our privacy, to inflict harm.
Yeah. And we've learned that anyone can be a target.
Anyone.
Yeah. But don't worry.
Okay.
Because in the next part,
Yeah.
we're going to dig deeper into the psychology
Yes. Let's do it.
behind these attacks.
Okay.
So stay tuned.
I'm ready. Welcome back to our deep dive.
Oh, those stories, man.
I know, right?
Intense.
Seriously intense. After hearing about Sandy, the Reddit user, Father David, Jen, it just makes you wonder.
I know.
What drives someone to send those kinds of messages?
Right. What's going on in their heads?
Yeah, it's a question that's fascinating. Like psychologists and criminologists
Oh, yeah.
for years,
Yeah.
What motivates someone to use technology like that
Right.
to harass, threaten, intimidate others?
It's got to be complex.
Yeah.
But are there, like, any common threads?
It is complex, but, we can look for some patterns.
Okay.
So, like,
Let's unpack it.
Yeah.
What are some of the psychological factors at play here?
okay, so one thing that comes up a lot is a desire for power and control.
Okay.
Cyberstalkers will often target individuals they perceive as vulnerable, right?
Okay.
So they can use technology to try and assert dominance.
So it's not really about the technology itself.
No.
It's about using it as a tool to, like,
a tool.
exert power over someone.
Exactly. And, the internet, it offers this anonymity
Right.
that can be really emboldening.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they're puppeteers, right? Pulling the strings from the shadows.
Yes, exactly. And that can make them feel invincible, untouchable.
And then, like, the more personal
Yeah.
the messages get, like, the more that power imbalance grows.
Absolutely, yeah. It's about, like, chipping away at their sense of security.
Right.
Think about Sandy's story, right?
Yeah.
The sender knew those details about her divorce, which allowed them to kind of, like, weaponize those vulnerabilities.
Yeah, it's like they were trying
Yeah.
to break her down to make her feel completely powerless.
Exactly. And that's, That's psychological manipulation.
And what about that explicit photo
Oh, right. Right.
that the stalker sent to Sandy?
Yes.
What's the motivation behind that kind of behavior?
It's often about humiliation and degradation.
Okay.
It's dehumanizing, It strips away their dignity and sense of self-worth.
Right.
It's a cruel act.
It is. It's calculated.
It is.
Yeah, it's meant to hurt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's that photo of Sandy's house, taken at night.
Right.
That just takes it to a whole new level.
I know, that's a blatant threat.
Yeah, it's like they are saying, I'm watching you. I know where you live. You're not safe.
It is. It's meant to, terrorize them.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about the Reddit story, the one with the download request.
Okay.
That sender seemed really meticulous.
Yeah, they were.
Gathering all that personal info about the user.
I know, that level of planning.
Felt premeditated.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we call a hunter cyberstalker.
Ah, okay.
So they're usually driven by obsession.
Right.
So researching their targets meticulously, gathering information from social media, public records, sometimes even hacking.
So it's not just sending a couple creepy messages.
No.
This is
This is a whole dossier
Right.
on this person. They want to know everything about them.
Yeah.
Where they live, where they work.
Where they eat.
Yeah. Who their friends and family are.
Yeah. It's about control, right?
It is. They're trying to make them feel like they have no privacy, no escape.
Oh, gosh. And then there were those photos, the user's house, his mother, that baby picture,
Yes.
and then that creepy photo of the stranger.
Right. It's there's just...
What was the point of that?
Yeah, it's psychological warfare.
Oh,
So they're showcasing their knowledge. They're
Yeah.
saying, look what I know about you. Look at what I have access to.
Yeah.
It's meant to instill fear and paranoia.
Oh, yeah. And then that executable file.
Oh, yeah. Download this now.exe.
It's like a ticking time bomb. You know something bad's going to happen.
It is, right?
If you click it.
Yeah. That's classic malware.
And then the fact that the post disappeared
Oh, yeah.
after the user shared their story, that just...
I know. It's so strange.
I know.
It is possible they just deleted it out of fear.
Right.
Or that Reddit took it down. But it does make you wonder
It does.
if the attacker somehow managed to cover their tracks.
Yeah. We'll never know for sure.
We'll never know.
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about Father David.
Okay.
His computer being hacked.
Right.
Files replaced with the satanic imagery, the creepy sounds. That just felt different
It did feel different.
than the other stories.
It did.
Do you think he was just like a prank?
It's possible.
Okay.
But even if it was a prank, it just shows you how easily our digital systems can be compromised
Right.
and used to cause harm. And, the emotional distress that Father David went through,
Oh, yeah.
that was real.
Yeah. It seems like the motivation behind that one was less about, control or humiliation and more about, disruption and chaos.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Some attackers, they just want to cause, widespread disruption.
Oh, okay.
They'll target organizations,
Right.
institutions, even entire systems.
Just to cause chaos.
Yeah, they just want to sow discord, spread fear, revel in the chaos.
This is a reminder, right?
It is.
That these attacks can take many forms.
Yes.
And that the motivations can vary.
Oh, yeah. And it's constantly evolving.
Right.
Okay,
let's talk about the 2009 virus epidemic.
Oh, yes, the Target coupons.
That's the perfect example of how our desire for a good deal
I know, right?
can be exploited.
It's classic social engineering. They use that really tempting lure,
Right.
the promise of savings, right?
Yeah.
To get people to click on a bad link or open, an infected attachment.
It's brilliant and devious at the same time.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't love a good deal?
Nobody doesn't love a good deal.
Right. And so that's what makes social engineering
Yeah,
so effective, right?
absolutely,
It just bypasses our rational defenses.
It does. You get excited.
Yeah, and you just click.
Exactly.
So it's not just about passwords
Yeah.
or keeping your software updated.
It's not.
It's about recognizing.
Recognizing those psychological traps and
Yeah.
knowing how to avoid them.
Right. Cybersecurity is as much about human psychology
Yeah,
as it is about technology.
it really is.
All right, so let's talk about Jen, the high school freshman,
Oh, yeah, Jen.
who was lured to that meeting by someone pretending to be her dean.
Yeah, that was really disturbing.
That was a truly disturbing case.
It was. And it just shows you, the consequences of online grooming.
Right, the perpetrator created this whole persona of authority
I know.
to gain her trust.
And then used it against her.
Right, and starting with that harmless email about her grades, That's
Classic.
textbook, right?
Classic grooming
It's
tactic.
about establishing that connection, building rapport,
Right. Slowly lowering their defenses.
and then slowly, escalating the behavior and, testing the boundaries,
Exactly.
pushing the victim further into this web of manipulation.
And once they've gained that trust, they'll try to exploit them.
Oh, gosh.
Either emotionally, financially, or, even physically.
It's scary because these predators often lurk in plain sight.
They do.
Yeah. So it's really important to talk to young people about these dangers.
Yeah,
Right?
it is about sharing personal information online, meeting strangers.
Yeah. Okay, so we've really delved into, the dark psychology behind cyber stalking.
Yeah.
It's unsettling, but I think it's important to understand it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about the technical side.
Okay.
What is malware? How does it work?
Okay, so malware, it's a broad term, but it basically means any kind of software that's designed to harm your computer,
Right.
steal your data, or gain access to it without your permission.
So it's not just one thing, it's like a whole bunch of different things.
It is. It's a whole arsenal of
Okay.
weapons, digital weapons. Some of the more common types
Right.
are viruses, worms, Trojan horses, spyware, and ransomware. And they spread through all sorts of things. Email attachments, infected websites, even USB drives.
It really is a digital minefield out there.
It is. You really got to be careful.
Yeah, you never know when you might click on something dangerous.
You don't.
So you're saying it's important to have good antivirus.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And to keep it updated.
Right.
It's like your digital shield,
Okay.
blocking those threats.
What about when the attackers are more sophisticated, right?
Hmm.
Like in Jen's story,
Yeah.
using the anonymous website, the public computer.
It can be difficult, but that's where understanding digital footprints
Okay.
becomes important.
All right, so digital footprints. Tell me more about that.
Okay, so every time we go online, we leave a trace.
Okay.
Our IP address, the websites we visit,
Right.
the searches we make, the emails we send, it's all tracked.
It's like a trail of digital breadcrumbs.
Exactly. Now, some of that's unavoidable, but there are things you can do
Okay, tell me.
to minimize your footprint.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the easiest things you can do is use a VPN.
Okay, a VPN.
That stands for virtual private network. It's basically like putting on a digital disguise.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it encrypts your traffic
Yeah.
and masks your IP address, making it much harder for attackers to track you.
Oh, okay. So it's all about being, more mindful
Yeah.
about what we're doing online.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the information we're sharing.
Being careful about the links we click.
Yes. Yes.
It's like a digital version of stranger danger.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so what happens if, you think you've been targeted?
Yeah.
What should you do?
Okay. So first thing,
Okay.
document everything.
Okay.
Save those emails,
Right.
messages, screenshots, anything you can to use as evidence.
Gotcha.
Then you're going to want to report it to the police
Okay.
or the FBI's Internet Crime Complaints Center.
Okay, so document and report.
Exactly.
And what about social media?
Social media, yeah.
Should you block the person?
Blocking them and reporting their behavior to the platform, that's a good first step.
Okay.
But, blocking doesn't always stop them.
Right, it's like a digital game of whack-a-mole.
It can feel that way.
Yeah.
But, if you're proactive
Okay.
and you take steps to protect yourself, you make yourself a less appealing target.
Makes sense.
You reduce the likelihood of becoming a victim.
It's all about being aware and, taking action.
It is. Remember, knowledge is power.
Yeah. This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
We've explored the psychology.
The dark psychology.
Yeah, and the technical stuff. And now,
And now.
welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent the last 2 parts looking at some pretty unsettling stories about creepy emails and messages.
Yeah, we've seen some seriously messed up stuff.
We have, uncovering the twisted psychology behind cyberstalking, the tech behind malware, digital footprints, all that.
It's been a wild ride.
It has. A journey into the dark side of the digital world, How tech could be used against us.
Absolutely. It's scary stuff.
It is scary.
Hmm.
But I think it's important we're talking about it.
Oh, for sure. These aren't just random events.
Yeah.
This is a symptom of a bigger problem.
Okay, so you're saying this is bigger than just a few creepy emails.
Way bigger. It's about how tech is changing, the fabric of society.
It's like blurring the lines between the physical and digital, right?
Exactly. The more tech becomes part of our lives, the more chances there are for abuse.
And we're seeing these same tactics, right?
Yeah.
Used on a larger scale, like with groups, governments even.
Oh, absolutely. Think about cyber warfare, propaganda, all those disinformation campaigns.
It feels like that's all over the news these days.
I know, right? And it's the same tactics. Deception, intimidation, isolation, just like a cyberstalker uses.
But on a much bigger level.
Exactly. They're trying to influence whole populations.
It's kind of scary, to be honest, like a slippery slope, you know?
It is. The digital world is changing so fast.
Yeah.
We're still figuring out, like, the ethical side of things.
So what can we even do? How do we fight back against this? It feels huge.
It is huge, but we're not powerless. The first thing is awareness.
Okay.
The more we understand the risks, the tactics, the consequences, the better we can protect ourselves.
Knowledge is power, right?
Exactly. We need to educate ourselves, our communities, about, digital citizenship, online behavior, critical thinking.
Right, so it's not just about antivirus and VPN.
No.
It's about being smarter, more resilient online.
Yes. We can't just passively take in information anymore.
Right.
We got to question motives, look for different viewpoints, not just trust everything we see.
Be skeptical.
Be skeptical, exactly. And we need better policies, better tech, too.
You mean like stronger privacy laws, AI ethics,
Yeah.
tools to fight harassment?
Yes, all of that. We need to hold tech companies accountable.
Right.
Make them create safer online spaces.
And our governments need to step up too, right?
Absolutely. They need to put our well-being first, especially in this digital age.
It's wild to think we started with creepy emails, and now we're talking about the future of humanity.
It really is all connected.
So what's the takeaway? What do you hope our listeners are thinking about after this?
I want them to feel like they can make a difference. They're not just along for the ride.
Right, they're not just bystanders.
They have power to be informed, to be engaged, to speak up for a better online world.
That's a great message. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into creepy emails and messages.
It's been quite a deep dive.
It has. And to our listeners, stay vigilant, stay informed, and remember, you can make a difference.
Couldn't said it better myself.
Until next time, stay curious, stay safe out there in the digital Wild West.